Welcome back to another episode of Derek and Bethany React, where my wife and I react to real estate shows, movies, etc. about real estate. And today we're gonna shake it up a bit and we're gonna look at some reels. They're all viral real estate videos, and I can't wait to jump right in and show you some really weird stuff.
How do you know it's gonna be weird?
I just decided it 5 seconds ago.
If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. That way you know when we have a new video coming up.
Hey, I just wanna thank you guys one last time for being here. It's the best day ever.
Don't even start with me, Franklin. Okay, you need to walk away from this ASAP.
What?
You need to get out, Frankie. Well, this is it, Frank. It's now or never. You need to get out of here while you're still single.
I'm not single.
She's 30 yards away from you. You're still single right now.
Come on.
So this is obviously a parody for the home buying process. Marry the home, date the rate. You know, fall in love with the house. If you're in love with the house, marry the house. So later down the road, if the interest rate drops, you can just refinance. Do either a cash out refi or do just a standard refi. If your dad or your mom are involved in the process, they're gonna have questions. They wanna protect you. You're their baby.
And sometimes we have parents who are given money and things of that nature. They are involved, but they're not involved, if that makes sense. So they want to know what's going on too.
Here's how to have the most productive day ever in 5 steps. And number 5 is the most important, so make sure to stick around for that. Number 1, eat the frog. You got to do the most difficult part of your day first. Whatever the worst thing is that you don't want to do today, you do it at 8 a.m. Number 2, don't prioritize your schedule. Schedule your priorities. What's the most important to you? Cut out everything else. 3, buy back your time. You have 1,440 minutes a day. How much time are you spending commuting? How much time are you spending preparing food? How much time are you spending doing email? Leverage through others. Number 4, delete the dumb off your phone. You don't need it. It does nothing for your life. You're already spending too much time on this social media app, aren't you? Number 5, to have the most productive day ever, your day begins the night before. Check your calendar for tomorrow. Are you scheduled appropriately for your priorities? Let everybody else wake up late, be tired. You've already started.
What's the most annoying thing for you every day that you don't want to do, but you need to get out?
Working out.
We're polar opposites on that one. One of my things is read. Whatever book I'm reading, I'm like, here we go, I gotta read 15 pages. One of the things that I lacked on and I recently started back was starting my day the night before. So looking at my calendar, making my notes, checking my to-dos, making sure everything was written down that I had to do the next day. The non-negotiables are there for a reason because those are the most productive things you can do. For me, that's calling past clients, that's calling current clients that are under contract, that's calling my top 25 or my referral partners, it's calling my frank list, friends, relatives, associations, neighbors, and coworkers. Go on the calendar, period. Closings, period. Final walkthroughs, period.
We also share calendars. Our Google Calendar is connected, and so if there's anything for the kids that goes on the calendar, if there's anything scheduled, we pretty much live and breathe from the calendar. We just realized that it makes things a whole lot easier for us.
The most successful people in the world prioritize, schedule their lives, right? And Sirhan is the man.
On a listing appointment, I asked the husband, how much do you think your house is worth? I have no idea. You're a top-level executive with a Fortune 500 company. You have no idea what your home's worth? No, I don't. I think your home's worth $1,350,000. You've got to be kidding me. My house is absolutely worth $1,600,000 every day. And then when he didn't like my number, he picked up his phone, maybe looking for another real estate agent, and left me just basically with the wife looking at me. He never looked back up at me, never shook my hand. He never said goodbye, nothing. He lists his house with another agent for more than I had told him the house was worth. They just reduced the price to $1,300,000, $50,000 less than I told him. Because had he started where I told him to, he would have generated excitement and urgency and gotten multiple offers. But instead, he started with some bull number, and now he's chasing the market instead of the buyer chasing him.
We know that when you list much higher than you're supposed to be, you lose up to 20%, even more, depending on how high you went, because you're chasing the market down. There's so many buyers that are hesitant to go see the property in this market if it's been on 3 weeks, let alone going on months.
There's multiple schools of thought when it comes to pricing out a house. Pricing it high never works. And the only way really to get multiple offers, well, 3 ways. Have the most beautiful home there ever was that everybody's obsessed with. Price it for what it's worth, or price it lower and drive multiple offers depending on the market. I don't ever ask what it's worth when I'm in the appointment. At the beginning, I'll have a discovery call where I call you and I'm like, I just want to know, is there a number that you guys need for your net? I'm not even asking about how much your house is worth. I just want to know how much money you guys need to make to take to the next house. So if you're like, I need 100 grand, and then I come in and I tell you a price and you're like, well, I think my house is worth this. I'm like, well, this not only gets you the 100 grand, it gets you this, and it's gonna sell. Now I have a baseline of what your requirement is for you to be able to sell and be able to get to that next home. That's most important to me.
We bought our first house and we lived in it for 2.5 years. And after that, we pulled out what's called a HELOC, home equity line of credit. And we used that to put, a down payment on our next house. And in that, we turned our first house into a rental property.
Yeah.
So we became landlords. We moved into our new house. Our first house now has tenants living in it. They cover the mortgage plus some. And so the house hacking piece of that is that all we had to do was put down 3%. Investment properties, you have to put down 20%.
Yeah.
And so that's the hacking piece that people
It
don't
is.
really understand, because a lot of them are like, well, how am I ever going to get 20% to put down on investment property? You don't have to.
So we actually just did this with our Sarasota property that we did a month ago? It's as easy as that.
Easy as that. So when we bought our first home, we, did the 3.5% down, FHA loan, got as much closing costs covered as we could, etc. We bought the house, lived in it for 3 years. I had just gotten into real estate. I did not know this hack yet. We used that HELOC from our first house to go purchase our next home. And we had the option at that point, do we want to rent this house out or do we want to sell it? We chose to do that instead of renting the property. Do we regret it? Yes. Do we drive by this house every single day? Yes, because it is the easiest way to start investing in real estate. So are these realistic? Yes, of course they're realistic. The majority of them, actually all of them. They're all realistic. I've dealt with all of these things. So yes, I think I actually really like reacting to these reels because it kind of gives you an insight into the world of real estate as the viewer who might not be a real estate agent. You kind of get to see a little bit behind the scenes of what we do, not only our schedules and what it takes to be an agent, but also different scenarios that we have to go through. And then you go learn a little bit of advice when it comes to investing. So yeah, do I think these are realistic? Yes. Do I think it's awesome information? Absolutely. And don't forget, we are realtors here in Middle Tennessee. Anything you need here in Middle Tennessee when it comes to buying, selling, investing, building, anything real estate related, we want to be the ones to help you. We want you to call us every time that you think about real estate in Tennessee. So please don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know how we can help you with your real estate needs.
If you have any other videos or reels or anything like that that you would like for us to react to, just leave them in the comment section below.